Yeah, I'm making this video to record a complaint against the post office and also a First Amendment audit fail. I was going in to ship a package at a post office here in Austin, Texas, located on South Congress. I'll post the address of the post office. I went in and had a pre-purchase label that I was putting on a flat rate envelope. Flat rate envelope was able to be sealed, but was not the thickness of a piece of paper. The flat rate envelope was well over to be able to seal it. It was able to be sealed even past the from information on the envelope. One of the postal employees, which I've had problems with before, I think her name is Shireen or something like that, Cherie, I may be pronouncing it wrong. While I was just in the lobby, not even approaching any individual, she started telling me that I can't ship it in that package and I have to pay more money to ship that package. I tried to tell her that I've already spoke to USPS headquarters about this because I've had other instances where the post service is trying to overcharge customers for services. If they have a policy, if it fits, it ships. They have a policy that says if the flat rate envelope is cylinder in size, it doesn't matter. It can be any weight as long as it closes properly. Flat refers to the rate, not the shape of the item. It can be a different shape. It can be cylinder in shape. While I was trying to explain all this, the lady kept interrupting me. I explained to them a few times that anytime I try to talk, you guys are just interrupting me and not allowing me to speak. This is perfectly okay to ship. They kept telling me I couldn't ship it. There was a lady named Morin, and she was also interrupting me and started to get involved in the conversation saying I couldn't ship it. I tried to explain to them again, and finally Charles interrupted me and said, hey, don't listen to this guy, have a supervisor come out here. Supervisor came out and I explained to him the real situation. I said I was able to get my words out that I've already looked through this at USPS. I've already talked to the USPS officials about this. I'm allowed to ship this item per their policy. You know, it seals fine, there's no problems there. Supervisor says, no, you can't ship this here, you can't ship this item. You'll have to pay for additional postage. I said, if that's the way you're deciding to do things, that's fine. I'm just going to have to talk to someone up at a higher rank and I'll see what they say about it because I believe I'm within policy here. I asked for the individual's name. I said, what's your name, just so we can touch base about this. He said, I'm not giving you my name. I said, I'm pretty sure you're required to give names if people are asking. Also, why would you hide your name for someone if you believe what you are doing is right? He said he's not giving me his name, that he doesn't have a responsibility to do so. He says, all I have to do is be black and die. And people do have a responsibility to be themselves and live life, but if you're working in a position, you have a responsibility to the customer to identify yourself, to help out a customer, and to be accountable if you are not enforcing correct policies. So I started recording the conversation, a video conversation. Well, I was like, I guess I got a video of this. So you're refusing to tell me your name. And he said, I'm not telling you my name. And he said, you're not allowed to film in post offices. And I said, actually, it's a constitutionally protected First Amendment right to record in post offices. You'll get a chance to see it. Postmaster 7 document says, filming for news, that you're allowed to film in the foyer, in the lobby, those areas that are to the public. Homeland Security documents state that you're allowed to film in any public location, including government offices and public locations. So he tried to tell me that it's illegal. Immediately he said, oh, it's illegal to film at post offices. Somebody call the cops on this guy. So here they go calling the cops. I said, if you want to call the cops, that's fine. It's First Amendment protected activity and I'll be here. The cops showed up and the employee gave the cops a different story. So the cop came out and he said to me, oh, they're basically complaining that since you have a larger vehicle and you're taking up more than one parking spot, that there's a problem. I have a large vehicle that's like a trailer. I talked to the officer. He's like, people park with trailers out here all the time. I was like, if you want me to pull in one spot, I will, but it'll probably obstruct traffic, and there's more than 20 spots available out here. Officer came in, talked to him, and came back out. He said that they weren't really concerned about that, and basically the whole thing was just a waste of his time. I do have a right to film in there. There's no problem with that, as long as I'm not causing a disturbance, which I wasn't. The only thing I was trying to do was mail my piece and do business. The only thing I was asking was for the employee's name, which they should give, Anyway, it's all in the footage. It's all in everything. I have to drive around. I had to drive to a different post office that knows the regulations, spend my own extra gas money. To do that, I have to drive over here to FedEx to print out these documents showing them their own policies. I've got to spend my time recording all this. I had to spend my time on the phone with USPS, who advised me to contact that postal facility and provide them with their own policy. I feel like I should have an apology for having the cops called on me when there was no reason, for having to spend all my extra money when there was no reason I should have. Postal employees should know their own regulations. They should know the regulations of the Constitution of the United States, and all around it was an amendment fail. So don't let the post office overcharge you for services because they lack training. I've ran into this multiple times, and for me to get called the cops on is just way too much in this situation, which is why I'm making this video. Anyway, I hope it helps. Peace.
Peace out. That's what can fit in that package.
I'm requesting your name.
And you can turn off your phone because we don't record in this building.
This is actually a public area, and I'm allowed to film
here. You do not
here.
record under postal policies.
It's First Amendment
I
protected
don't care
activity.
about your First Amendment. Under the postal policy, we do not allow recording in our facilities.
It's First Amendment, so my constitutional rights trump that. Any public space, I can carry a recording device.
Somebody call the cops, please. I don't have my phone on me. Somebody call Akron, Austin Police, Austin Police. Eddie, call Austin Police. Have this man escorted out this building. We don't understand English.
Yeah, because I have a First Amendment protected.
It's postal policy on federal property.
Federal property is public policy. Public property.
To the police code.
I will certainly do that.
Stand right there.
No problem.
Okay. And then we can get all your answers.
This police that showed up on the scene, the guy came up and talked to me. So basically he said that the postmaster is complaining that I'm parked in multiple spots because I'm driving a large vehicle, that the postmaster didn't say anything about the fact that I was recording. I told the officer that I have First Amendment protected activity to record. Also, there's documents released from the postmaster, Postmaster 7, that declares that I have a legal right and permission to record in the foyer of the post office. And he's just going inside to talk to the guy and then coming out to talk to me. So we'll see what happens. The police officer seemed really reasonable and understanding rights. They're trying to press me for parking like this, which is petty and ridiculous, honestly.
All right, so I'm gonna get out of here. I guess they're calling, they're just wanting to, it's kind of like both sides. Everybody, you want your First Amendment right and to be able to mail your package. They're trying to say that by the policy, they showed you pictures. That's not a fight that I'm in. That's between you and the post office.
Sure, definitely. As far as taking...
He said that if you came back in, the answer would still be no.
Yeah,
so,
I know that's the talk that I'm going to have with them.
That's something you'll have to take up with Postal Service.
Definitely, which is what I'm trying to do. What I was trying to get the gentleman's name.